session, we had seen few tags like input tag, input type equals submit, input type equals reset, and so on. So let's continue with more tags, and we can begin with a tag called input type equals number. So this field will allow us to allow user to enter number. Okay, it looks like a text box, but actually we can enter a number in this. Let's see how it looks like. So this code I have pasted here in Visual Studio Code. So we have uh, form tag. The form tag I have given input type equals number, minimum 10 and maximum 50, and then there is a submit button. So it looks like this. Okay. Now the purpose of this no type number is it will allow only numbers. That means if I attempt to type text, it will not accept at all. Okay, I have to enter number only. And even in number, I've given a condition here, minimum and maximum, which is not needed. Let's see if I remove this. That means the only thing is it will accept number, any number. I can give number like this, press submit, it will accept it. Right? So that is the purpose, and even it comes with this spinner. That means I can spin this, increase and decrease the value. Right? Only if we need to give a validation, then we can mention something like this: min 10 and max 50. That means it will accept any number between 10 and 50. If I give 3 and press submit, uh, okay, let me refresh this. If I press 3, if I press 3 and submit, it is throwing an error saying value must be greater than or equal to 10, right? Because we have given a condition over here. Similarly, if we give something above 50, it will throw a message value must be less than or equal to 50, right? And if I give something within range, it will not throw any error. So that is the purpose of number type, to accept only numbers. Okay, let's move ahead. Then we have something called input type equals email. That means if I give here input type email, we don't need a min and max. Save. So now this particular field will accept email ID only. It looks like a text box, but it has certain validation. For example, if I give John and click submit, it is saying please include an at the rate symbol. So it has just one validation. That's it. I mean, if I give at the rate, gmail.com, then if I click on submit, it will accept it, right? So this type of input box you can use to accept email address from the user, right? Now, if you want to give multiple email IDs, for example, if I give John at gmail.com, then I give a comma, Kathy at gmail.com. If you want to give multiple email IDs like this, it is throwing an error message now saying, it should not contain any comma. So in that case, just add an additional attribute called multiple. Okay. If you give multiple, then it will allow multiple email IDs, okay, with comma, with comma as a separator. We click submit, it's accepted now. So that is the intention of multiple attribute. All right. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Next, we'll see the date type. Okay. That means if I just give input type equals date, okay, the entry field will change like this. That means either you have to type in this fashion, DDMMYYY, or you can click on this icon and choose a date from here. Okay, that is the advantage of date type. So when I click on any particular date, it is accepted like this. See, 27, 23, it is accepted. And you can here type also. Okay, that is also possible. We can straight away type 1 1. Okay, 2023, it will accept it. Now, if I give here, let's say 30, 78, it is not accepting. 78 it has taken as month and day. So there's a default validation in this, and that is why we are using these kind of predefined input types, right? Because it has the validation inbuilt. We don't have to worry about validation. We don't have to worry about how to choose it and all that. Okay, similar thing if you want to accept in a text box, it would be very difficult for us as well as the user because they won't know how to enter the date, whether to give a slash or give a hyphen and all that. Okay, so that is the advantage of using a date type. Now here also you can give min and max. Okay, that means I can give here uh, min and then give as an year format. I can give let's say 2022 dash 12 12. So the minimum date should be 12th December 2022 and max I'm giving as here let's say 2023 dash 12 12. So maximum is 12 December 2023 and minimum is 12 December 2022. If I enter anything other than that, that means if I'm entering, let's say here 2021, see, it is not giving me any option to choose. I cannot choose anything which is outside this range. So in 2022 also, it is starting from December because we gave. Click on December, okay, it is starting from 12 only, right? Prior dates are all disabled. So that is an advantage. Okay. Now, if you want to cheat the system, and if you type something here, let's see if I type here 2021, sorry, 2021, and then click on submit. See, it is giving a validation error here. Value must be 12/12/2022 or later. Okay, so that is the advantage of date type along with min and max validation. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and the next field is type, time actually. So if I give input type equals time and then save it, now this particular field will accept only time. So I click here, so it's accepting like this. Okay, so I select some time 15 and then click on submit, it will accept. Okay, so if I give here uh, okay, so whatever I'm giving, it is going to accept over here. So that's what time. Either you enter it or choose a time from this particular drop down. So this kind of input types makes the life of the user easy because they have to just choose. They don't have to worry too much about what to enter and what not. Right? Okay. Next is date time local. Okay. Now, date time local will have the option to choose both date and time. Okay. That means if I give here date, time, local, now I'm getting this option. That means I choose a date also and then I can choose a time also. Both I can choose, so date and time, both I have chosen. The next one is month. Okay. So if I give month over here, input type equals month, then it will allow us to choose month over here, right? I can just choose a month. So I'm choosing a month of whatever year I want to. So that particular month and year is coming just for month and year. If we have any of those fields, then we can use this particular input type. All right. Similarly, we have a week also. If I were to accept, just the week numbers. I can just accept it like this. Just give input type equals week, and then user will get an option of what week to be chosen, right? If I click here, that particular week 27 got selected. So week 27, 2023, right? Say week 29, 2023. So that kind of input, if you want, just use input type equals week. Okay. And then we have a color. That means if you want to give an option for user to choose color, you might have seen in some browser or some application where you can pick a color, right? So you see here, now I click here, I get this kind of interface where I can choose a color and then submit. So this you can understand more when we do this some kind of coding with JavaScript and all that. Okay. For example, if we have a text below this, and if I pick a color and click on submit, the text below should become red. Right? Those kind of scripting we will do once we learn JavaScript. So there is where this kind of input will be more useful, right? Sometimes what I've seen on top right of the browser, they say theme, dark theme or light theme. You can choose a color over there, right? So that kind of for that kind of input, we can use input type equals color. All right, and let's move ahead. So now we have something called input type equals file. So if you want to give a user an option to upload file or something like that, you can give input type equals file. Okay. So if you give input type equals file, you will get an option like this: choose file. Click on this button, choose a particular file. Okay, and then it will come here index.html, and then you can submit. Okay, obviously we are not writing any code to submit because for that we need to learn further coding, JavaScript and backend coding. Now we are only learning the front end part, how you can pick and choose. Meaning, what is the purpose of this particular widget, right? So input type equals file, you get this option. Okay. Next one is URL. I mean, if you want user to enter some kind of URL, then you will give input type equals URL. Then I know it's not a big difference. It is just if you type something like this, it is telling please enter a URL because this is not a URL. This is some junk test, junk value. So if I give here HTTP colon google.com and press enter, it has accepted it because that is a URL. Got it? So that's pretty much on URL. And then we have something called password. That means this you might have seen, right? When you enter a password, uh, you see that dots, right? See here. You cannot see anything. Whatever I'm typing, you cannot see because the type of this text box is password. Okay. Uh, that's about. Then we have something called search. Search will appear just like text box basically. Okay. Not much difference. So here we have some search. So some additional thing comes over here. You have a cross button. You can delete this, right? That is one additional thing. If you give search, somebody is searching, right? HTML tutorial, and then you get this mark. So by mistake, user has typed something they want to remove it. They don't have to click backspace. They click on this error, this message, it goes away, right? So the slight difference. That's it. Okay, click on that. That goes. So that's about input type equals search. Then you have something called input type equals range. Okay. So if I give range, then I'm getting this kind of option. That means I can choose, I can drag and drop like this. So I can drag it accordingly value, that particular value will be selected. Okay, that's because now we are not coding anything in JavaScript. We may not know the application of it, but now just understand that you will have an input. That means user can drag it and then press submit. Right? They can choose the element like dragging and then submitting. That's what is input type equals range. Then we have input type equals hidden. So if I give hidden, what happens is that particular text box is not appearing. Actually, it is there. Okay, so I can give some value here. Value equals some secret code or something. This is the value of this text box, but you cannot see. User cannot see in the front end. Okay, using program you can access this value. Okay, this again you'll get more information when you learn JavaScript or backend code, backend coding. That time you will know how to access this value, right? It's just we are hiding from the user, but passing values to the backend page. All right. Then we have options like radio buttons and all that. Okay. Uh, Something like this. You know, I can have radio button like this: red, green, pink. So it is input type because radio. Okay, so I've given radio. Name of all the three radio buttons are same color only. That is why it is allowed to choose any one. Radio button means you can choose only one option out of this. Any one you can choose. So input type equals radio, name equals color, then value equals red. This again value equals red means again in coding, if I click on the submit button, this red, green or pink value will go to the server. Okay. Now in the tag, whatever I have given, that is getting displayed. So if I instead of red, if I give red color, the red color will appear. See, red color is appearing. That is the just the text that we display on the screen. Got it? Value will go to the server, which we can use to code in the backend. Okay, what if we select this? So instead of red, green, blue, I can pass one, two, three also. That means the value, if you select red and click submit, then the value one will go to the server. And if I click on green and click submit, then the value two will go to the server. Okay, so that's about radio button. Uh, Now, if you want to, so as soon as this page is loaded, okay, now see when it's loaded, nothing is selected. If you want to give red as the default selected, then you can give checked. If you give checked always, whenever some user is coming here, red will be selected by default. Okay. Obviously, you can change this, but red will be selected. All right, that's about checked. Now we have checkboxes. Checkboxes like radio button, but the option is the benefit is we can choose multiple items, right? We can choose multiple items over here. That means it will appear something like this. These are called check boxes. I can choose cricket also, baseball also, both. In radio button, we could choose only one option. So here, what is the tag? Input type equals checkbox. Okay. And name I have given sports 1, sports 2, sports 3. There are three different names for these checkboxes. And value is cricket, baseball, badminton, right? That means if I select first two items and click on submit, whatever value has been assigned, those values will go to the server. And here I'm just displaying whatever you want to see on the screen. That means again here value can be anything 1, 2, 3. That's it. If I select first two option and click on submit, the value 1 and 2 will go to the server, which we can use for further coding. And here means display. Okay, instead of cricket, if I want to change it to tennis, so that will be changed to tennis. Tennis, baseball, badminton. Got it? So that's about checkbox. And then we have button. Button we've already seen, right? Input type equals input type equals submit. When I give, we are getting a submit button by default, right? I can give input type equals button also. If I give a button, then I can give some value. I can give a value equals click here, click here. So now if I save, if I save, so I got a button, and the display of the button is click here because I've given value equals click here. All right. Uh, what difference between input type equals button and input type equals submit is this button, whenever we click, the data will not go to server. Okay. Data will never go to server. It will be here only in the front end. But if you want to send this data to the server, then we have to give input type equals submit. Now, okay, now what will happen is the data, when you click on this, if page is refreshing, it will go to the server, right? So that's about input type equals button. Then we have a button tag also. That means instead of giving input type equals submit, we can simply give button tag. Okay, submit. So button tag also looks similar. See, button tag also is like submit. I mean, like that means when you click on this button, the values will go to the server. So either you can use button tag or you can use input type equals submit. Both are same. Any one you can use here. If both are exactly same, both will go to the server. But if you use input type equals button, then it is just the front end, program you can give. The value will not go to the server. See, these three buttons look similar, right? But the last one, if you click, data is not going to the server. But if you click first and second, the URL will change. Okay. See, the URL will be changing. It will refresh. Page will refresh. The page is refreshed. Question mark has come. That means it has gone to the server. All right. So that's pretty much uh, for today. We have seen a few tags. Please practice these tags and let me know in case of any question in the next class. All right. Thank you.